happen if you come back to Russia?
Well, no one would wait for me on the border, that's for sure, but I don't think that I would last long outside of prison system. I don't have I don't have a criminal case opened against me. I'm not a foreign agent as of now. But what I've done quite enough, and to be imprisoned. And I know all those articles from the penal code that can be opened against me. And I'm not talking about starting from 2022. I'm talking about starting way back when, again, 2014 and even earlier. So since I've participated in protests for a long, long time, and my first protest, by the way, was in 1989. I was 4 years old, and it was in Czechoslovakia. We were at the Václav Square with my parents, and I was sitting with a small portrait of Václav Havel, whom no one knew back then, and so it goes way back. The protest activities go way back. So I know that I have done enough, I would say, for Russian special services to be very grateful to me and get some additional awards for arresting me and a big number of other people. So I know that that would be rather suicidal. My name is Alexandra Filippenko. I'm a political analyst, currently living in Lithuania. I don't have family in Russia. My parents immigrated here. My brother immigrated a little later, and my sister has been living outside of Russia for a while now, so I don't have any relatives in Russia left. But I have friends who are still there, and I keep on communicating with those who are not afraid to communicate with me, and who are, I know who share my positions on the war. I know a lot of people who stopped communicating with me, but the good thing is that after 2014, a lot of people stopped communicating with me, even while I was in Russia, even while I was working at the Academy of Sciences, and I continued speaking out. But I know that a lot of people, and I remember a lot of people who stopped communicating with me after 2014. So I didn't have much people who cut ties with me in 2020, or in 2020, 2022 also, because 2020, the Belarus attempted revolution and the win, actually, of Svetlana Tikhanovskaya was also one of the points why some people stopped communicating with me. And so by 2022, there were just a few who continued on talking to me. But I know that, and I see that some people are watching over me, and they are not surveying, but they just look at my stories in the forbidden Instagram and forbidden Facebook in Meta, that is considered to be very dangerous for Russia. So yeah, I see some people who they don't communicate, but they just watch. And I am happy that maybe they would see something that they wouldn't see on Russian official TV, at least maybe 1 in a million. And okay, I'll be happy with that. But I wouldn't say that I had a lot who cut ties after the full-scale invasion, because after the start of the war, I had a lot of people who stopped. My last day in Russia was July 6th, 2022. I remember it very well. I left very early in the morning, so I'd rather talk about the previous day, July 5th. I went to the theater. I was at the theater because all my life I worked at the theater. I've worked at the theater since I was 14 years old. So I went to the theater to see one of the premieres, but the thing is that my father took part in that play. So I was there, and we had a photo shoot for my father and a program. So I was working, so I had some things to do. And since I was not really much open about the fact that I was leaving for good, I didn't have a goodbye party, a farewell party, or anything else. But the last day was filled with packing. I left alone. I left first. My parents left in December 2022, but we were discussing it for a while. And I must say that since I was born, my grandmother, whose father was executed during the Stalin terror in 1938, so my grandmother, since I was born, she was telling me that I must leave, that nothing will change. But I am the child of, 90s, and I thought that everything changed, and she was just wrong. But she, unfortunately, she passed away in 1998, and now I know that she was right. So, yes, she's been telling me and my parents that I shouldn't go to the university in Russia, nothing will change, that's a dictatorship, and KGB will never leave power. So, those discussions were in the air, although I always thought that I would stay in Russia, and I felt that I was doing something important. But it's obviously, as we see, it was not enough, and we all didn't do enough. So my decision was fairly easy, I would say, because I felt imminent danger staying in Russia, and some people could dwell on the decision, they could think about it longer, but I knew that sooner or later, rather sooner than later, I would be imprisoned, or at least in some way would come in contact, I would say, with the Russian injustice system, because I also already had police coming to my house. I was questioned for a few hours, but nothing came out of it. And with questions like, what have you been doing in Kiev in 2021? Or with your surname, you obviously have relatives in Ukraine. Of course, I participated in protests on February. As soon as the war was declared, I realized that we must do something. Something must be done, and I was sure that at Pushkin Square that very evening, February 24th, I would meet a lot of people, but no. But still, I was there, and with a Ukrainian flag that I brought with me. I have it here in Vilnius. The full-scale invasion of Ukraine changed everything for me, because I remember so vividly that I think I had almost hallucinations of what is happening, and I could not get over the fact that it happened, the full-scale invasion happened, and I could not believe that it actually happened.
Либо они не свалятся, просто непонятно, что они творят.
Я написала письмо, сколько нас будет сегодня на завтра. Спасибо вам большое за то, что вы пришли сюда. Россия!
Вы договорились, что 23 человек, а
Россия!
I need to try to do something, but if I cannot do it inside, then at least I will try to speak out outside and maybe speak to those people who are inside. So that's something that I've been trying to do. I work in many capacities. I work as an anchor on The Breakfast Show. It's a program on YouTube, a Russian language YouTube channel that has started working in March 2022, and we are trying to talk to the people inside, and I would say that 60% of our audience is from Russia. I do my best to be optimistic, and I do my best to think that I would have a chance to come back. But every day, every time that Ukraine doesn't get enough weapons or ammunition or the ability to hit military targets on the territory of Russia, every day that Ukraine doesn't get that, my hope also dies in a way.